Most people who have had the privilege to attend a fine Jesuit high school have had the opportunity to read and enjoy the Arthur Miller classic, Death of a Salesman. And according to Congressman Don Meyer, a graduate of Gonzaga High School, so close to the Capitol that you can even see the dome on the rotunda, and also a luxury automobile sales group mogul, politics is just like sales. He says you have to meet strangers, make them feel comfortable to make a deal and close a sale, and at least according to Don Meyer, 95% of folks who have already bought a car at his dealership will automatically just buy again. So he says he and the salesman at the dealership often joke about the fact that they spend most of their money just trying to sell the other 5%. So if politics is like sales, and most people agree that the pandemic pathogen and even donning masks has become political, it might be a good idea to understand the science of a sale, because it is a science based all on psychology. And every salesman worth his fine luxury car, designer suits, and expensive townhouse knows the coffee is for closer steps for a sale under the acronym AIDA. Attention, interest, decision, action. Do I have your attention? I know that you are interested. Have you made your decision for Christ? Action. Sign your name on the line that is dotted. First prize is a Cadillac Eldorado. And you want to know what second prize is? A set of steak knives. And that is a joke that maybe only a real salesman gets, because sales is a very competitive industry. Sell or walk. If you can't make the sale, you need to find another profession. Those who have had the wonderful opportunity to read the very popular salesman book by Harvey Mackay, Swimming with the Sharks, know all about Mr. Otis at the car dealership, the imaginary sales manager who your salesman has to discuss that great deal that you just managed to wrestle from him. And just like the elevator, Mr. Otis only knows the word up. But amongst actual car salesmen, probably the best reel in for suckers technique, just looking for that guy who needs to impress all of his friends, big validation needs, as the first on his block with something great, maybe the first in the entire or even state, the spectacular car that ain't out yet. Maybe you saw it riding around town. Maybe you got a personal invitation as a special customer. Everybody likes to be special. Or maybe even you're a good friend of the owner. There are so many ways to reel a sucker in with this salesman classic. But all roads lead to Rome, as they say, and no matter how you arrive at the dealership, as soon as you drive happily on your way out to tell everybody about your fantastic success at the local dealership, the salesman just gives a call to the guys in the back in inventory to have them roll out the next car that ain't out yet. And if the first immutable law of marketing is that of primacy, or being first, it only makes sense that the best way to sell a product to a gullible person is to have them believe that they received something new and improved. And it fits neatly into the 20th immutable law of marketing, the law of hype. And you only need hype when things are not the way things quite went in your head, and you have to save face. Wear a dang mask, as they say. And so, anyone remotely familiar with actual virology or epidemiology had to scratch their heads just a little bit when all of a sudden in the news everyone was discussing a novel coronavirus, which some reports even had to explain to some folks only that novel was a college-educated word for new. And perhaps wanting not to be embarrassed, most folks, even in a lethal pandemic, thought it was better to save face, wear the mask of intelligence, than admit they had no idea what was going on. Never heard anything about the largest family and the largest in mass of viruses that were discovered first in animals in the 1930s and later in humans in the 1960s. And just nodded their head and probably said something purportedly intelligent like, "Oh yeah, coronaviruses, I know all about that." When actually, they did not. But it certainly was impressive enough to have fooled their friends. And they told two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.
because there is not one story about anyone ever lodging a complaint about why they never heard about the coronaviruses that made this one novel. Or maybe you. That was you. Probably not. Or we would have heard about it. Or maybe you are that uninformed customer 1 year into a lethal pandemic for whom even the thought of questioning the name of a novel coronavirus is a novel inquiry for you. Oh, what can we tell you? How about stay at home? Everything is under control. Wear a mask and a vaccine will soon be here.
So tell me, what do I have to do to get you in this car today? Is a phrase you often may hear at a high-pressure sales car dealership. And a seasoned salesman can deliver that line with the practiced sincerity and compassion of an Academy Award-winning actor. He may even bring you to tears. And it's all based upon the scientific psychology of manipulation, as he has to ask you what he has to do to get you in the car to ease his own guilty conscience of receiving up to 30% of the profits from the sale, and transfer the title of guilt or shame for a bad decision to you and your presumptively informed and reasonable choice. So you can wake up surprised. Do you really believe that he only wants you to be happy? Then hop on down to the dealership today and meet a new friend. And my name is Major Mike Webb, and by God, I am running for governor of Virginia. I ask every Christian, every conservative, every Republican, every Virginian, and every American true to, like the motto of the infantry, follow me, and we shall overcome. Honest. And y'all come back now. See you. This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.